So we moved to station 3.
And we only get a high house and a low house here, no doubles.
For the game of skeet. If
Yeah,
you
for
wanted,
the game.
If you wanted to come out like,
And
we're not
practice
shooting
doubles.
we're not shooting a registered round or anything like that. So we could pull doubles if we wanted to.
Sure, easy.
But the way I've been struggling with the low house, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Your leads at 3 and 4 and 5 get much bigger. Again, we can't tell you how fast you're going to swing, but it basically right here at station number 3, a 3-foot lead is going to get you very close. And I use a sustained lead at 3. I don't use a passing lead, but I try to sustain what I think is about 3 foot. As soon as it feels right, I shoot, and I try to do that over the center stake, because that's about when your pattern's going to be about the best for your choke.
And same thing here, when I think of station 3 and these high and low house birds, I'm thinking about birds that are coming across,
Yeah.
that are working the decoys, that aren't settling down in, but they've worked the decoys enough. They're in range.
Yes.
They've given me a good shot, and I'm going to take it. Because I mean, let's face it. By the time our birds go through all of the shooting that they endure through Canada and through Montana, I mean, what you guys in the South have to deal with as far as tough, educated birds is something else entirely. But when I'm on the river down here, if I get birds to commit to the decoys and they give me good quality, high quality shots, I'm shooting.
Yes.
I'm not waiting for that bird to be scratching its feet on the water in the decoys.
Yeah.
Now in a cornfield, dry land
story.
hunts, different story. I
Yeah.
want those birds like right in our face, right in the decoys, because it's different. They're just the way they work on the river. It's different than the way they work on still water.
There's a lot of birds that just travel up and down the river and not necessarily commit, but they'll dip, and they'll dip to 35, 40 yards, which is a very doable shot. You have to lead them more, especially depending on what kind of bird it is. And
Right.
like I said, 3, 4, and 5 I think is excellent practice for that.
Well, and there are those days when they're right in your face. Exactly.
Every day is different.
Well, let's see how badly I can miss these ones, huh?
Okay, and you might be able to watch Todd swing, and especially after he shoots his follow through. Follow through is even more important when you get to bigger lead shots, like a 3, 4 foot lead shot. You can't stop your barrel when you shoot.
Pull.
Yeah, so right on it.
Pull.
Yes, excellent. You saw him follow through. Even after he shot, his barrel's swinging.
Trying.
Yeah, no, excellent.
It's always interesting to see how they break, you know?
Pull,
Nice shot.
pull.
Oh, get the
tail
dog,
feather.
get the dog.
Tail feather, yeah.
Get the
Hope you got
dog.
a good dog on that one. But that's something you can tell on the birds too, is whether you led them good or not. Because that one I hit tail feather. I needed a little bit more lead on that.
Yep.
And on one of Todd's shot, he made a head shot, hit the front end of the bird. So you can tell whether you're leading a little much or a little too little. You can always adjust your lead that way.
And we joke about, oh, get the dog, get the dog. Yeah, in the field, we would be getting the dog on that last one because the bird would have sailed down somewhere. But if we were shooting a registered round of skeet, that bird counts.
Yes, counts
bird
just
counts.
as much as a powder.
Exactly. So we're on station 4, and these are all in the field. These middle stations are all going to be pretty much the same.
We shoot a lot of shots with this type of scenario.
Yes, we do.
I mean, you're basically a perpendicular, anywhere from 20 to 45 yards,
Right.
coming right to left or left to right on the river.
Well, and I think one of my favorite ways to set up for geese in a dry field, on a dry field hunt, is to not have them coming right in my face, because then they're picking apart my decoys. They're looking right at me. If I could set up to the side and have those honkers come across in front of me to land in a spot,
Nice shot.
I get a really nice shot. They're floating in nice and slow. I get that big long neck to shoot at, and they're not looking at me over here. They're looking at the decoys right in front of them.
Yep.
To me, this station in particular really simulates that shot.
I agree. 3, 4, and 5, and this one a lot. I mean, this is probably the majority of the shots where I shoot on the river.
Yep. Cool.
Majority.
Well,
Again,
let's do it. Just a high and a low, right?
high and a low, and keep your barrel swinging, and it's going to be about a 4-foot lead.
Okay, let's see it.
Pull. Pull.
Nice. Nicely done.
Well, big lead.
And you're hitting those right around that stake. I mean, that
Real close.
high house bird was maybe a couple feet past the stake. Low house bird was a little further, but that middle stake, I mean, that's kind of your goal.
Yeah, and old age, what can I say? You know, it's getting slower.
You're crushing it, dude. Don't worry.
I've said this before, I know I'm repeating myself, but watch Todd continue to swing after he shoots. That's so important.
Pull. Pull.
Yeah, right in the middle of that. Bird exploded.
That was how you're supposed to do it, right?
Yeah, no, did it
Not
fine.
keep missing it like I
Yeah, and you kept swinging. You're right in the middle of that bird. I don't know if you could see it on film, but the whole bird exploded. He didn't make a headshot. He didn't make a tail shot. He was right in the middle of that bird.
So I don't know if I want to eat that one then.
Well, you know.
I'm gonna get some more shells.
Okay.
We are shooting the Federal Top Gun 8s. There's two things that I gotta have in a target load. I gotta have them cheap, and I gotta have them effective. And the Federal Top Guns are both of those things. So that's just me. I don't reload shotgun shells. I know a lot of guys who do. Chris does, actually. And I've always been a guy that's bought them. So I'm always looking for an affordable shell that works. Affordable shot shell that works. And I've always had good luck with Federal. All right, so we are on station 5, and still a high house and a low house.
Correct.
No double. And it's the same idea, but shortened leads a little bit.
Yeah, it's, again, depending on the speed of your swing, but your lead is actually going to start shortening a little bit here. You're going to be about 3 foot on each side. And that's going to get you real close. And the idea, again, a sustained lead, keep your barrel swinging even after your shot, after you pull the trigger.
All right, let's see if we can put that into practice. Pull. Pull.
Yeah, right in the middle of it. Nice shot.
Thank you. Now, footwork. Well, that's one of the things I've been thinking about. I'm watching you. Everybody's footwork's a little bit different on this, but footwork on the skeet field is no different than footwork in the duck blind. If your feet aren't right, you're going to struggle.
Yeah.
You're going to struggle because you're trying to twist and turn your body, and it becomes subconscious after a while. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that I noticed myself doing is I was like this at the bird. My feet are lined up right about there. I'm going to have a hard time swinging back here.
Uh-huh.
So I opened my stance up a little bit more, and I noticed you shoot with a pretty open stance.
And my footwork has changed as I've gotten older, but
Sure.
yeah, I use a fairly open stance. Sure, there are recommendations. A lot of guys, especially at 1, 2, and 3, say that you should shoot from this back left corner.
That back corner.
And face
Like this.
more facing the low house.
Right. And I noticed what I did, instead of being here, I dropped this foot back, I moved this foot forward, and I opened my body to that house. Mm-hmm. And it allows me to swing more fluidly and follow that bird.
Yeah.
I'm not twisting quite so much.
And I like to set up my feet so my feet are aligned with where I'm going to kill the bird.
Right.
You know, I'll turn my body and I'll swing, and then hopefully if I'm on it like I should be, right when I shoot, my feet are set exactly for the position where I'm going to shoot.
Perfect.
And that's my idea on it.
Yeah. No, I think we're thinking the same thing on that.
Pull. Pull.
Nice. Shot that one in the beak.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Well, I was trying to save the meat. You know, I'm a meat hunter.
I hear you there. Straight meat Chris.